invest in by investing in your leads. Leads are the lifeblood of what we do. They're the seed of what we do. Just like what farmers do when they take seed and put it in the ground, they know that in order to have a harvest, they've got to have seed to put in the ground. And when they reap that harvest, and this is what Erynne's going to talk about here in a second, when they reap that harvest, they don't just sit there and eat it all and say, hey, I got all this food, all this corn, this wheat, this barley, like this is great. They got to save some of that, a portion of it, and put it back in the ground so that they can have a harvest for next season. And so what Erynne's going to talk about tonight is, hey, how do you take, or what do you do when to invest in yourself with the leads and buying leads, planting that seed so that you can reap a harvest, which is the commissions, the fruit of our labors and our work and what we do, and then how to keep investing back in your business by investing back in leads so that you can continue to have the contacts and the people that you need to see to do what we do. So Erynne, I'm going to let you steal the show for the next 20 minutes or so. If we get some good questions along the way and have time at the end, we'll answer some. But take it away, please. Help us out here on what it means to invest in your business by investing in leads.
All right, guys, welcome back. So on the Telegram, I'm going to review this sheet and then I'm going to post on the Telegram. And it's literally the simplest breakdown of if you invest $100 weekly, all the way up to $1,000 weekly, what your average commission to be if you're at an 80% income, like for your commission. So thinking about a business, and I love Mike Garrett, he always says you're going to open a gas station, but you don't want to purchase anything because you just want to see how it works. I'm going to get my license. I'm going to, get contracted, but I'm not going to spend any money. So what are you going to do? It's like a gas station. You're not going to have customers because you don't have product. And you want to look at this as your business of building like an LLC. You have tax write-offs, but you have to invest in your business. All businesses do that. You've got to spend money to make money. If you don't spend money, you're not going to make money. And then if you spend a little money, expect to make a little money. And yes, it's scary, but you've really got to set up a goal of what can you afford and how hard you're going to work it. And next week, like a follow-up is it's going to really give you the grind of the nuts and bolts of when you purchase and you invest, with Mark speaking next week. And then I'll jump on is how to work the leads to the bone, how to get your money's worth of these leads. Cause yeah, it is scary because when you're picking virtual or direct mail, cost is going to vary. How many is going to vary. Direct mail is going to be the most expensive, but like Mark said last week, there's so many different ways you can work it because you're in person. If the number doesn't work, you can door knock. There's just more ways to do it. Then with virtual, they're a little cheaper, but you've got to buy more to make up for the bad ones. Now, on this sheet that I'm going to send, it's called lead investment sheet. So weekly lead investment, if you're going to spend $100, that commission's going to be about $1,000 you should make. 300, 3,000, 500, 5,000, 1,000, 10,000. And that's at your commission rate, about 800. So then when you're breaking that down, you spend $100, let's just say the cheapest. That's not much opportunity if you want to go full time. So if you're part-time and you're stepping in it, that's your budget, that's great. But if you're wanting to try to be full-time and a full schedule and a full higher income, you've got to invest more. So I'm averaging anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a week. And in the beginning, I was terrifying. I think I started the beginning on instant purchase $200 to $300 because I did older leads. So y'all get with your upline and be realistic with yourself. You don't have to spend what we're spending now. Like, feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing. Like I said, with the direct mail, when my GMR was setting up for the expensive ones, it takes 8 weeks for them to fully start coming in. I was buying every Sunday night instant purchase, cheap, older leads. Again, Mark went with the breakdown and it's on what I put on the Telegram last week is 0 to 8 weeks, like the lead class, A, B, C. I think I was doing lead like class C. I mean, they were older, but I was making good money because I was knowing how to work them, listening to my upline. So that gave me confidence because when you're spending $45, $55 per lead, and then you're at the door and all you're thinking about is what you spent, you're not focused on the task. It's scary, especially when you're brand new. So when you're investing, be smart, be realistic. See what your budget is, what time frame. If you're wanting a full week, I would spend $300 to $500 starting out. And then the more you go, the more increasing. Now, direct mail, it's not going to be as many leads that you're going to get with that amount of money as virtual. So just remember, it's how you work them. Um, like Mark said at the beginning, you're going to plant seeds you want to refurbish. So when you make your commission your first week, you've got to set a portion aside to reinvest into your business. And you would rather reinvest more of that portion to add more leads, to add more money. Am I making sense? I want to really make sure, stop me as I'm talking because it can get a little confusing. But when you are investing and you're staying active and busy and you're getting the hang of it and you're working to the bone, it gives you more confidence about needing more leads. One Monday, I remember it was just a slow week, and I probably had 5 or 6 brand new leads, and I was trying to work old ones. When you have a Monday and you don't have that many leads, it's actually more stressful than the money you spent because you have no opportunity to make any money. I've dialed my 5 leads for the day. I don't have anything but 3 appointments scheduled for the whole week. I'm going to try to just door knock the rest. That's not a great momentum to start my week. So the more leads you have, which you're investing more, the more opportunity to have a full schedule because you want at least 8 to 10 appointments a day, up to 20 appointments a week. So then you're hitting your goals. Again, it's all a numbers game in the big picture of everything we do in this business. Money you invest, those are numbers. So the higher the numbers, the more opportunity. The number of dials, the number of appointments you run, the number of people you sit with, all of that's going to be in your favor when you're active and staying active. So when you're looking at this sheet, get with your upline and just talk through what's going to meet best for part-time, full-time, direct mail, direct mail, instant purchase, virtual, the vertical leads to the old ethos leads, whatever direction you want to go, really map out what you want to spend and then expect that outcome of if you spend 100, you're not going to make much and moving forward. And then when you're thinking about spending money, if you're, and Andy does a good, I mean, talk about it, it's spending money now in your business, you're building tax write-off. So think about that too. You've got to have something to write off. So when you're making your commission and then your personal income at the end of the year for your taxes, you want to have losses. You want to spend money. If not, you're going to be paying a whole lot more taxes. So you'd rather want to spend into returning your investment of your business versus directly back to Uncle Sam the end of the year. So think of a business side point too. It is scary, but that's part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of owning your own business. That's part of being your own boss. That's part of running your own schedule is that investment side. I have a lot of people that I've spoke with testimonies that put it on credit cards and they'll stay on the business side, work up those credit cards. I mean, don't go crazy, but put on your credit cards at the beginning if you have to pay a portion on that, but then start building that income. And so then all you do is have a cash flow. Like, look at that as just kind of your floating money. You've really got to think outside the box of how you're going to leverage what you're investing if it's difficult in the beginning, meaning, well, how am I going to pay for it? Well, let's think outside the box of credit cards or family or what little commission you do make, start stashing that. Don't spend it on everything just for fun money of the brand new purse or, you sold 2 policies today, so I don't care to, work the rest of the week. You want to keep it rolling. You want to keep that momentum going. I'm going to pause for a minute, make sure you might have questions because I like to make sure this makes sense, especially when we're talking about investing. All right, nothing yet. Okay. So The average big commissions that people spend or that make over six figures is an average about $1,000 a week that they're investing. So start out small, take baby steps, learn, build confidence, and then of course increase each week with the amount of leads that you're buying. If it's hard for that, really work on the ERS system in the home. And Mike or Mark will go in on that and then ask your upline. But referrals, just get all you can with what you're spending. Don't just give up on it and circle around. Like Marcus said, I always said, even recruiting, even with leads, clients. I mean, I've called people today from old leads from October that I haven't got to reach. They don't know the day. They don't remember yesterday's breakfast. How are they going to know anything? I mean, they get so many phone calls. Take your mind out of the narrow box of, well, they weren't sold the first time or because they're old leads, or I didn't get them 2 months ago, so I'm just going to give up on them. That's working them to the bone because when I see my leads, let me try to find, hold on. They look rough. Like these are my leads for tomorrow. This is a lady that I followed up with, Miss Sharon. Thank God I've called her multiple times because I'm hoping we can move an annuity about or money into an annuity that's going to be about $100,000. And if I gave up on that and didn't circle around from last year, who would have known? And I door knocked her this last time, door knocked the woman, and now I'm meeting back with her tomorrow. So anytime, I mean, and make your little sticky notes, but I want to make sure the $55 that I'm spending per these leads, I'm getting my money's worth. You can't just dial one time and be done because they didn't answer. So what are you investing in? How important is it? And then getting your money's worth is the three main things. It's that simple. You just got to decide and stick to it because if not, then it's like anything. It's just not going to work. So set a goal monthly of what you want to make, break that down weekly, and then get with the upline and make sure it makes sense of what you're going to put on your schedule, as in instant purchase, even like that. That's my favorite way to get any new agents going because it takes the pressure off because all you're thinking about is the amount of money spending per the one lead. So I'm going to make sure that I add that to our Telegram. And I mean, this is just the bloodline of your system. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I can't ingrain it anymore unless you want to cold call and door knock random doors and do all your warm marketing. I don't know what else more to say that you've got to take the, the leap and jump into it and invest. Because if not, your income is not going to be there. Your goals are not going to be met and your business isn't going to grow. I mean, it is that simple and hard to the truth. And I've had some people, they'll start a subscription and then they're jumping around. If you're investing in GMR and you don't stick to it for 4 weeks, and then you jump to virtual and you don't stick for that, but 2 weeks, you've got to have consistency. Consistency in this business with investment and activity is the key. So give something, whatever you're going to do, a good month to 2 months, stick to it. When we were trying different virtual leads, I mean, we all contested that, okay, whatever happens, we're going to give it a full month before we give our opinion about do these leads work or do they suck. You don't know because one batch to the next batch, and you can ask anybody, they'll suck. Some are going to be great. I swear today was a full moon with my new leads that came in. Half the numbers didn't work. And then what numbers did, I couldn't get anybody to answer calling them 3 times today. But I'm going to door knock them tomorrow because I'm going to get my use and then I'll try to schedule them later. If not, I'll circle down next week. You just don't know. A lead is leading you to an opportunity. Your investment is investing on your side of business, and then you commit to the activity. You've got to stick to that when you get your license. And that's the only way you're going to soar with this business financially. I mean, if not, let me know the secret sauce of warm marketing without leads and cold door knocking because I would love to do that so I can make more profit. But it just doesn't work out, and then you get more referrals out of leads, and you're planting seeds another way where a year down the road you're going to have people calling and referring because those are different lead seeds that are planted from leads that you purchase. It's just amazing how it really works. But I didn't ever see it until a year and a half in, and now I've been very busy with referrals. I remember Mark, I mean, that's all he runs now is referrals. We have a lot of people that do that, but you've got to grind and invest the first 6 months to a year to a year and a half to build that momentum to plant those seeds, not only financially, but actively. So then you can see what you've reaped and then your garden grow. And it is amazing. But if I gave up the first 6 months, the first 8 months, first year, I would have never seen that. And you've got to give yourself grace. We've got to be patient. Every time you fall and get back up and learn something, that's another step closer to success. So fall fast, learn quick, and you'll reach your goals so much faster. Okay, what are the top three? Sorry, did you see that?
Yeah, and that's kind of that's answered in our last week's video that we've posted. So if you haven't had a chance to look at part one, look at part one. Um, I'll let you answer that question. I mean, it's kind of, hey, get with your upline kind of conversation, but I know we kind of covered that last week. So take it away, and then I'll kind of follow up with several things you said, and we'll wrap it up.
Yep. So what are the three lead sources that you recommend? Sorry, my daughter. What, baby? Okay, go tell daddy. I'm gonna finish up call. Sorry, y'all. Three lead sources that I personally recommend. You're gonna want to talk to your direct upline, but starting out is set up your GMR, fully commit. While that's coming in, the direct mail, the instant purchases. And then I love the virtual leads for virtual or etho leads for internet. Sorry, all vertical. Sorry, I'm like, this is not making sense. Vertical leads and etho leads for virtual calls. Sorry.
No, all
What is
good.
the best way to take on debt for the beginning of the business when getting leads if you don't have buying through? That's where I mentioned a credit card. I have people that have done that. You open a credit card, it's building credit, you're building your business, but that way you put it on your business card and then you're going to be paying as much as you can each commission. So you're reinvesting into your business. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, that's definitely a good option. And here's what I would say to that. If you're not willing to bet on yourself, or like Erin's been talking about, investing in yourself, that is the only way. If you're not willing to bet on yourself, that's the only way that I would be apprehensive about opening a credit card or a line of credit, or, asking a family member that, has access or resources that they would be willing to give to you if they knew that you were good for it. If you knew that, hey, I just need somebody to give me a chance. I need somebody to just take a chance on me and just lend me 500, $1,000, whatever it is, and I'll make it good because I know I'm willing to work and I'm teachable. Then bet on yourself and do this, because this business 100% works. If you're just thinking all I got to do is go spend 500 to $1,000 on leads out the gate, if I do that, I'm just good and I'll make a lot of money. But if you're not willing to work, that's the worst thing you could do, is go drop that kind of money on something you're not going to work. So it's just like, take as simple as a car dealership. I can't sell cars to you at MSRP at retail if I don't go and take out whatever debt and credit I need to get cars from the actual manufacturers and get them at wholesale to get them to my lot. I'm going to have tons of inventory. With that inventory is going to come a ton of debt. And the idea is, hey, if I can sell all these cars at MSRP for way more than I paid for them, then it's very profitable. But you can't just sit there and buy the cars at wholesale and say, all right, they'll sell themselves. I bought them, I paid for them. Let's just sit back and, fuck or screw if I know. You can't sit there and be like, well, I paid for the lead, so I'm good. Now is the time to go to work. Now's the time to say, hey, here's the leads. This is just getting me in front of people so that I can go ahead and sell myself. Be that person that's there to help them with the needs that they've requested. The leads are just there to get you in the door and get that opportunity to you. Now that's the time to go to work. So to follow up with this question, when you say, hey, what if you don't have that capital to start out, or that 300 to 500 or $1,000 to start out? opening a line of credit and a credit card, but be willing to go to work, because you get a whole month plus to pay that line of credit off or that credit card off. 4 to 5 weeks is a long time to sit out or to go out and start doing what we teach and how to do it and make the money you need to go back and pay that off. But then, like Erynne was saying, you can't just be like, hey, I just made $1,800 and think, oh, it's time to get that purse I always wanted, or that new outfit, or my cousin's wedding's coming up this summer, so I got to get new shoes. No, that'll come. Focus on getting yourself out of the water that you're drowning in, the debt, the rat race that you're drowning in. Get yourself out of that financially, and then you can go splurge on whatever you want to splurge on. So here's just a few suggestions off the top of the head besides the credit card. If you're a guy, depending on what part of the country you're in the season, mow some lawns or shovel some sidewalks and driveways, when there's snow on the ground, and just make some extra spending money and go get leads. Like, you mow a handful of lawns or shovel a few sidewalks, that's lead money just like that. Here's a big one that a lot of agents just neglect because they think, well, I don't want to bug my friends and family. This is life insurance. This is life insurance from the top companies in the country. This is life insurance that everybody needs. So think about this, the three things that you should insure that we talk about: your life, your property, mainly your house, homeowners insurance, and then your car. That's another big one, right? Health insurance, yeah, but your car, your property, your house, and your car, and your life. And what's funny is the government says, hey, you have to have insurance on your house. You need homeowners insurance because shit happens. So you need homeowners insurance. You need car insurance. If you're in an accident, you're liable. You have to have car insurance, like they require it. They don't require life insurance. You can replace cars. You can build houses that burned down or got knocked down in a tornado. You can't replace a life. And the irony in all of this is, hey, you have to insure your car. You have to insure your house. Make sure all that's insured in case you have an accident, but your life, roll the die, take a chance, whatever. And that's the one thing that is guaranteed. That's the insurance that's guaranteed to use if you have it. And so when you talk about, hey, this is life insurance, this is something that my people need, my family, like that I say I love and I care about, they need what we have, what we sell. Well, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to bug them. If that's your perspective, you're more worried about the money you're trying to make than the reality that they've got possibly no insurance and you don't know, but you don't want to bug them. I get if you've tried 15, 16 different things and selling and you've bugged them all before, but come on, this is life insurance. And so one way to kind of handle that is just say, hey, I just recently got licensed. One of the things that my manager requires is I've got to find 10 close friends and family, people that I trust, people that trust me, obviously, and I just got to go over their policies and take a look at it. That's all. I just got to do a policy review because that's going to familiarize me with the different types of life insurances that are out there. What friend or family do you have that would say, you ain't looking at my stuff? Nah, no. If that's what they're saying about you, then let's really talk about getting a lead source for you. But if they're not, which most of them aren't, they're going to let you look at their stuff. And I guarantee you, if you will look at 10 different friends and family members' current life insurance policies, guarantee you at least four, lot likely higher than that, but at least four are going to say, we've been meaning to get that. It's on our list, but we've just been so busy. 2025 just man, it's on our list. And then the other 4 to 6 that are going to have it potentially or say they have it, when you look at what they have, I guarantee you 80+% of those, we've got something better than what they've got.
Mm-hmm.
And the advantage in that is, one, you're getting an opportunity to familiarize yourself with the type of policies that are out there, like I said. But of those friends and family that you look at, I promise you that if you get 10 of your friends and families to either say, we don't have life insurance, but it's on our list of stuff to do, or, hey, we got it somewhere, sure, you can take a look at it. 3 of those, minimum 3 of those, you will help with the products that we have, and with a few phone calls to your upline, couple phone calls to your upline, that can help direct you and showing you, hey, good thing we looked at this, because did your parents know that this was going to run out on them in 2 more years? What were they going to do then? No, they didn't. They took it out 20 something years ago and they just had, right. That's why what we do is so important. So you're like, I don't have money to get leads. All right. I don't have a credit card to open up because my credit's bad. What? All right. you've got friends and family. And if you've got friends and family, I'm telling you right there, even just that simple, hey, I've got to find 10 close friends and family, and I just got to do a policy review and take a look at what type of coverage they have. It's going to familiarize me with what's out there. My manager has asked me to do that to familiarize myself with the different types of products that are out there. And I'm just telling you, through that whole process, you will find either family that needs coverage and just, hey, boom, you're the godsend. They're not out trying actively to get it, but they know they need to do something about it, or they know they should, they just haven't delved. And now here you are with an insurance license. Or you're going to find some that have it, and a year ago they took out some crappy Colonial Penn while they were watching, Matlock reruns. And so they took out Colonial Penn and it's crap, and you've got something way better for them. They just didn't have anybody that in that industry that knew what was better for them and that cared enough to go sit with them and help them. So remember, it goes back to, hey, am I trying to learn how to get good and better at what we do to protect people, or am I just out trying to make some quick money? I know we all come in trying to make some quick money, but if you'll kind of shift your focus just a little bit, and instead of being so consumed on how I can make quick money to, hey, how can I help others around me, even my friends and family, while I need to make quick money, here's some ways to do that and some ways to make that quick money that you can take and go invest back into yourself and back into your business. Does that make sense?
That's good. Question. I have a way to answer this, but is your first year the least profitable? I have two ways to answer it. I would, eh,
Go for it.
let me take it.
Go for it. I'm
The
sitting back.
way I would look at it, if you research or Google anything, okay, perfect example, my husband's business, parking lot striping. You have to buy equipment, you've got to buy paint, you've got to, buy a trailer. So money, 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 investing, investing, investing. Then you get your jobs. So any kind of business, and you can go down detail, any kind of business, I want to look at like the big overview, what you invest and how much you invest, how much you work. It's going to outweigh itself, but it's give yourself grace. I mean, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. I mean, how well did you work the first 3 months of your investments? You got to give yourself grace, because I think 6 months, I mean, you're learning, you're brand new. So you are not going to be as profitable spending the same amount of money as the next year, because you're not as confident and knowledgeable in the home. So Haley, when you ask that, like, is the first year the least profitable? Yeah, in the big scheme of things, because you're brand new, you're spending money, you're learning. There's a lot of policies, or a lot of appointments. And I look back, I'm like, how the heck did I forget to ask that? It's learning. So if you want to look at it as giving yourself grace and less profitable, it's not the money you spend, it's just the money you spent and gaining the knowledge. So you're balancing. I mean, I don't know how else to word it, but you're gonna grow in knowledge, and then that gives you confidence to grow with spending more money. So the next year, the next 6 months, you will be way more profitable.
Yeah, and Haley, just to follow up on that question, Aaron's exactly right. And it's not a hard and fast rule that, hey, everybody's first year is going to be their least profitable. But what I would say is that that is likely if you endure, if you stick it out in this business for longer than 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to look back and say, hey, financially, it might have been the least profitable because, but at the end of the day, like I look back, my first year I made 75 grand. My lead bill that entire first year was less than $9,000. And that was the majority of my business expenses. There was gas and cell phone and printer and whatever, but my lead bill was by far and away. And that was my first year in the business, and that was I wasn't spending 500 to $1,000 a week on leads. I also didn't make 300,000 in my first year. You got Erynne made over 100 grand her first year. Mike Guerra, Nick Greco, Rachel Midtune, Rachel Hernandez, like they all made over 100 grand their first year coming in and doing. I didn't, but I also a lot of what I learned in the stuff that I messed up on that I was able to teach them, hey, don't do it this way, was able to kind of jumpstart them. So when I say, hey, listen, what Erynne she nailed it on the head. Hey, your profitability might not be as much financially, But that first year, that learning curve, I'm amazed at the numbers, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that people will spend currently today for a 4-year degree, a college education, to go out and get a job that, you know, a lot of high schoolers could get out of high school and get, and to try and work and pay this back. But they think, oh, because I got that degree, eventually it'll give me more opportunity. And it's like here with an insurance license, you know, you can take your lumps and bruises in the beginning and still make a heck of a lot more money than you've ever made before. But the experience and the value of the experience, you can't put a price tag on that. You know, I can sit here and say, man, 14 years ago when I first got started, I look back at some of these leads and I'm just like, man, I could have sold that one knowing what I know now, right? But if I didn't go run that appointment and miss that sale and didn't try and learn from it, then
Mhm.
I'm not making the same mistakes at this point because I'd be long out of the business. So what you learn, what not to do and what to do in those appointments, look at this. No kidding. I don't know if I can even get them all out right now. These, I swear to God, these are all individual one-page leads, actual one-page leads of clients here in the upstate of South Carolina that I've sat with over the years. I haven't bought leads in 4 or 5 years, but these are actual, like I can flip any stack up and pull the whole thing out, and you can just see it's just lead after lead after lead after lead after lead. Now, my point in showing you this is I didn't get into this business 14 years ago and think, oh, I'm going to help a lot of people. You know, I got into this business thinking I need to make some money, and I don't have enough people in my life that I know that need life insurance. And it was just the process of, hey, here's a lead supply, here's a lead source. If I buy these leads and I go work them and I go sit with these people who are people just like me and their family, they've got family just like I do. We all need life insurance. We're all going to die. And it just came like Erynne said, hey, run 20 appointments a week. Just run 20 appointments a week. Don't stretch it out over 5 or 6 days. Do 20 appointments a week in 2 to 3 days tops. Do it in 2 if you can. And what you'll find out is the more you just go out and do it, hey, you've helped several hundred families. You've helped several hundred more. Here's several hundred more. Here's several hundred more. And it's just, I mean, here's a few thousand more. It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And it's just like, I don't sit here thinking I'm going to go help all these families and make a ton of money. I come in thinking, hey, I'm broke. I need some help, financial resources. Like, I got to figure this thing out. There's cool ass people on here that I can do this with. And you want to go to work, but we sit here and get so wrapped up. Oh, what's the perfect lead? What's the perfect script? What's the perfect product? Screw all that. You don't need the perfect. Everything we have is pretty darn good. It's really good compared to what people already have. And if you'll just take that information and say, hey, show me what to do, tell me where to put it, what to do, how to work, what to say, how to say it, like just teach me and help me. We can help you come up with as many creative ways as you need to find the money that you need to go do to this business. But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to bet on yourself. Because if you're not going to go to work, this business does not work.
And
And
you're
you can blame
investing
the
in
leads, you
yourself.
can blame
Mhm.
everything else, but if you're not willing to work, the business doesn't work. So everything she was saying tonight, take the chance, invest in yourself. You can find a few hundred, couple hundred, few $100s that you need to go do this. And if you really need help and you're asking us or your uplines, we'll help you come up with ideas to find that money. And I'm telling you this is just a hint. If we really like you because you're doing what you say you're going to do, hey, I know some agency managers that are out there that'll say, hey, I'll match what you put in for leads. You give me $200 worth of leads, I'll match that. And now you got 2 for 1. You got $400 worth of leads to your 200. Question is, what are you doing to make sure your upline knows, hey, I'm plugging in, I'm teachable, I might be broke, but I'm here, I'm plugging in, and I'm teachable. That's the key. If you're willing to do that, we've got the resources to help you go out and do this thing as big as you want to. I promise you that.
Last question, then we'll tie it up. So first year equals investment year, yes, no, and yes. It's what you're investing, what your goals. So every year you're going to invest something. You're going to invest money, you're investing time, you're investing what resources to get all you can from your leads. So if you want more profitability, meaning not spending more money, investing money in leads, you need a know-how, which Mark will go through, and then we'll have our follow-up of working the leads to the bone. Think outside the box of start with your leads and then referrals from those leads, because you're always going to have to invest something. This isn't invest in a business like gas station. To keep gas flowing, you're constantly investing every year. As the gas station grows and gets bigger, you're constantly investing more. So think of it as, what is your goals? How much you want to invest? How big do you want to get? And then just take it step by step. But you're always going to invest money, time, and activity to get and meet your goals. And there's ways around trying to be more profitable and not spending like where Mark is now, not having to buy leads. That's what I'm trying to shoot for too, is referrals, working the leads to the bone, circle around on old leads. I mean, a year later, I mean, who knows? But just thinking outside the box of what meets your goals financially, your schedule with your time, and then back to what Mark said, you're investing in yourself, in your business. So how important is, because you're the only person you're going to let down. It's only going to fall and fail because of you, not because of Mark, not because of me, not because your upline, not because your neighbor, not because Betty Sue smiled better that day. There's all these excuses. It's just, what are you doing and how active are you staying?
Yep. So guys, that's part two. Next week is part three. Erynne is out of town next week. I'm gonna be doing part three on how to work the leads to the bone, especially in regards to direct mail. I get questions all the time. Well, when do you stop calling a lead? How much do you follow up with a lead? At what point do you say, hey, like they're gonna call the cops? Like whatever. We'll talk about how you take those leads and how you work them to make sure you're getting the most use out of them. That is next Monday night, the 17th at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So you don't want to miss that. Trust me. There's gonna
No.
be a lot of good stuff on that one. And then week 4 after that, we're gonna have Eric Belair come on and just kind of recap his incredible talk at NatCon on working leads as well. And that'll be good for you to hear his perspective from somebody that has no financial gain or investment on our team, but just somebody that's come up through the NAA system and how we do what we do. And that's going to be very valuable as well. So you'll definitely want to plug in for the next couple of weeks on those. We're going to let y'all get back to it. I know there's a few more questions. We'll try and get those in the next session. But thanks for joining in, guys. We look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Bye, guys.